Hi, Mark with the Gunner Project. Again, the mission of the Gunner Project is to inspire and teach people how to pursue happiness in everyday life. One of the things, another kind of paradox that I've discovered as I've gone through a lot of this research and talked to thousands of people over this past year, is that we all have a pretty good feeling for what we should be doing right now. And I think the best way to illustrate this is to talk a little bit about an exercise that we occasionally do. And I sort of invite you to do this exercise at the same time. But imagine that you're sitting on the porch or on the steps with an elderly person, right? This person is maybe 85 years old, 90 years old. They're somebody who you respect. They've been sort of through the battles and they've been through the wars, right? And they've led a very robust life. And they're sitting here on the porch and they're going to tell you, the 3 or 4 or 5 things that they've learned over the course of their life, things that they may have done differently. And what I do is I ask the groups that we work with, and I'm asking you to do this now, come up with that list. What is that elderly person going to tell you? What are going to be their sort of nuggets for advice? The interesting thing with this is that when we've gotten together with groups, and these groups have ranged anywhere from like 7th graders, 9th graders, high school kids, a lot of college kids, and even some adult groups that we've talked to, the list that they come up with for these little nuggets of advice is an incredible, unbelievably insightful list. They're kind of just naming off all the things one by one. I should have spent more time with my family. I didn't need to spend so much time working. I didn't need to spend so much time watching TV. I should have spent more time and spent my money on experiences and travel and seeing new things and being part of new things versus buying expensive stuff. All of these different ideas are just incredibly insightful ideas. The question that I have, and sort of the paradox with this, is if as a 7th grader or a 9th grader or somebody who's in college, if you already know all these things, don't be that person who's going to look back on their life when they're 40 and say, "God darn it, I missed out. I really should have spent more time with my family, and I should have traveled more, and I should have taken more risks," right? We all know these things right now. You know exactly the kinds of things that you should be doing. You know exactly the kinds of things that are going to cause you regret in 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. So do them right now. Jump out and make a commitment to doing those things that you really know that you should do, those things that elderly person is going to tell you looking back on their life and say, you got to go out there and do those things. We all know those things, and for some reason, we don't jump on those and we're not actively pursuing those every day. And this is part of this idea of actively and intentionally pursuing happiness every day, which again is the mission of the Gunner Project. So again, thanks for listening, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye.